Alright. And then you go, outside it's cold. You gotta go up though. So down. We'll go. Let it snow. Let it snow. Outside it's cold. But the fire's burning. So maybe let it snow. Oh. Yeah, that was good. Let it snow.
All right. So, hey girl.
Hey child.
I'm Brock.
I'm Rafik.
And this is Conversippin. Hello out there.
Hi.
And welcome to a preview to our Wonderland.
We're entirely too coordinated today. My nails match the decor. This has never happened. We didn't plan this. It's just
The fates.
It's just what happened.
Yes.
You got Louis on your name.
Hey, get a little LV.
So, talk to us about this bottle.
Well, there's no label on it because
There's
it's
no label.
a secret.
Ooh. I like secrets.
Can you keep a secret? I can't, so I'm gonna tell you what it is. So, it is a homemade wine from a good friend of mine, Brandon. He dropped it off for me to try. It's not for sale, everybody. It's just for us, and we're gonna tell you what we tasted. And maybe he'll make another bottle, and you are a guest at our house, and it smells really nice. And you'll get a little tasty taste as well. Who knows? But, well, I gotta make sure I like it first before I try to give it to other people.
I'm gonna try to guess the grape.
Should do a little drip drip. That's all right. We have a coaster.
Look at that. Okay. Here we go.
It looks good.
It smells sweet.
It smells sweet, and it also smells a little bit strong.
It smells so sweet. I didn't know why that's making me laugh.
Oh God, what's in it? Making us laugh.
Okay, the definite Scuppernose. I'm gonna tell you how I know. So I grew up in Dublin County.
Okay.
Muscadine, Scuppernose country. So the end of summer, so late August, the vines start to produce these grapes, very thick, like skins. Mm-hmm. And I love eating them because they're like, this is gonna sound disgusting. They're like snot. So you you squeeze it, and then the grape comes out, and it's got this I don't know, it's a weird kind of texture, and I play with it in my mouth. I have an Oris fixation. It's fine.
Well, it's funny you say that, snot. So that's the reason why I don't eat yogurt. It's because it has the texture as snot, and I hate that texture.
Oh, I mean, it tastes like juice.
It does.
So this is going to get us drunk.
I feel like I could just chug this.
I don't even taste the alcohol. Uh-oh. But I smell it. So I smell the alcohol. So I know that there's alcohol in it.
Y'all.
But it tastes like juice.
Y'all.
I could drink this all day.
I know. I could mistakenly give this to a child.
Right. That part. Okay. This is not for children. But it's also like, put it in a sippy cup.
In a sippy cup. In a sippy cup.
So now the alcohol is like rising from the back of my throat. So I know that there's alcohol in it.
Yeah, that's your only way you know it.
We're going to be lit.
We're going to be something. Dang.
I like this. Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you, Brandon.
For this submission. I would like a lot more bottles.
Yes, definitely. We're going to put a request in.
A lot more bottles. And you know what? I've said that I don't like sweet wine. And I don't. But
Let me put this down.
But this is like, I don't It's like juice, and I love juice.
Yeah, same.
So, like, I could absolutely see myself just enjoying this. I might not pair this with any food or anything, but just like me chilling at the house.
I feel like this would be a good
definitely
dessert. Like if you didn't really want to eat a dessert, you could just drink this
wine.
and
Come with it.
and it would just be, it would set you off the top. Like you just ate a good meal. You don't really have anything else. Just pull this bottle out, drink
Welch's
it.
ain't got nothing on this.
I know. Oh, Welchers, you make some wine. Wait,
Look,
things like this.
This is really good.
It is. I'm so happy.
Well, thank you so much, Brandon, for gifting us this bottle.
Yes.
I really appreciate it. I would like a lot more.
Yes. Done and done. I'm going to message him right after the show.
Yeah, I'm interested in what else you do. 'Cause if this is just the scorpions, do you do like peaches, strawberries? Like, I want to get all up in your personal business. I want to get in your wine personal business.
Oh, I didn't think
and
about
I wanna know.
all of that.
Yeah, I want to know what you do. Like, I want everything.
Also, I'd like to learn the process because I think it'd be kind of fun to like make our own wine for the show once.
So maybe.
Yeah, we can partner up.
If you're not shy, we put you in front of the camera.
Ew. See you do the things you do. And more.
Okay, wait. Wait, is he married?
No, he's single.
Oh, hi. Hi, Daddy.
All right. So I had to put mine down because I will drink it to the fullest in less than 5 minutes. So,
Yeah.
So what do we want to talk about today?
So someone had brought up this topic, and I listened to a couple podcasts, the Real Chop, one being the example, and they were talking about intersectionality.
Okay.
And so what that is,
Yes, for those that didn't know.
intersectionality is being a part of more than one minority group. So example being black and gay, or bi and something else. So one or more minority, or like bi and trans, or you could be a woman, black and a woman. You are a part of two minority groups, and that is called intersectionality. Wow. And why we identify it is when we start to talk about social issues and social constructs, sometimes one social construct will only benefit one part of your intersectionality.
Okay.
And not necessarily benefit another part. So think about like all of the parts that are you. Mm-hmm. And the things that you need to do in terms of work, if you're working in an office, if you're working in any place with a set decorum of presentation and speech, decorum of walk, or decorum of kind of how you deliver information, and then does that decorum appeal to one part of you more than another part? And a lot of times this is so in the African American community and people of color, which is why we invented switching. So that is that is the method of changing up our vocalization. We change up our vocabulary to suit whoever it is that we're talking to.
Gotcha. So it's like having like a customer service voice.
Yes.
As some people do.
Yes, because you have your Karen voice.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not Karen. We'll use. I don't want you to have a Karen voice.
No. We gonna get that out of your vocabulary.
Maybe we'll say Lindsay. So you'll have your Lindsay voice for the office, but then Nene come out when you're around your peoples at the house. And this doesn't just, so other people switch and don't know that they switch.
Oh, I've been told. Now that you've given it the word, I'm a switcher.
A lot of people switch. So if you come from a lower economic class, that could be part of your intersectionality, right?
Country.
Because that is the minority. The low income class are minority, in a minority group in the classism that we exist in America. So you speak one way with your family, or if you come from an extremely rural area, the dialect. So switching up your dialect, your accent, all of that is a part of switching.
I've been covering mine up for so long. I don't even know if I can switch back to it, but when I'm around my family a lot though.
Yeah, I mean you do.
I feel like I start saying over yonder.
Sometimes it's subconscious, right?
Yeah.
Like sometimes it happens. You get so good at doing it after you've been doing it for such a long time that it happens almost subconsciously. Like you don't. I never actively think about when I switch.
No.
And I do as soon as I pick up, like as soon as I'm on the phone at work, or if depending on what I'm trying to get at like a retail establishment, and I'll even switch between groups of friends.
Oh yeah, I guess I do the same as well. Like me and you, we're so real around each other that we're just like whatever.
Yeah.
But then I'll get around. So typically for me, I'll change the tone of my voice changes when I'm around straight men in general. I start to sound like a baritone. And that's also how I answer the phone at work. Like this isn't my normal voice at work. It's like I answer the phone, be like, "Hello."
He answers the phone like that. I'll talk with
Oh, do I? Until I realize who you are, it's like, "Oh, girl, hey." Yeah. So it happens. Yeah, throughout my whole day, I'm like a. It's like I could do. There's people that do voices. And when I was growing up, like you said, like from being in lower class and all that stuff, like rural areas, like if you go with me to visit my family, you will hear the distinct differences between how I speak and how they speak. And it's because when I was in high school, I took theater, and they taught us how to change like the way we speak and all of that, like learning different accents and different things, and I kind of just adopted like an eclectic group of accents together and made my own. But sometimes it comes out. You've heard it.
Yeah. But I mean, you've heard. I don't know if you've heard me with like a country accent. I don't. But if you time it right, because I definitely have it when I go down home to Rose Hill, and then when I come back, I switch back. But so we talk about intersectionality to talk about when you're, especially when we talk about self-care, I think it's really important to understand what sections are within yourself so that you can, when you're caring for yourself, you can care for all of those things. All of those pieces are you.
Yeah.
You are a woman, you are trans, you are gay, and you are this other thing. And maybe those two things need different things. So maybe the level of communication that I need from my trans self is different from what I need from my black self. Maybe what I need from my Japanese self is different from any other part of me. And so I want to make sure that I understand what parts are there so that when I care for self and when I care for others, I realize where kind of, where my bias is coming from, where my intention to give is coming from. It's really important to understand that. And I think it's important for us to understand that as we talk broader or more globally across the our world, right? So we're in a very unique position right now where once again social construct is up in arms, right?
Yeah.
So we go through these periods of social change, social climate evolution, as I like to call it, and so we're in one of those kind of like moments. And as we start shaping what our major societal norm is, we have to think about what intersectionality exists within us and within other people so that we try to service as many as we can.
That's very interesting. Like before we started talking about this on camera, I actually had asked Rafik what that meant. I'm very honest with things that I don't know, and this is a very eye-opening thing for me as well to talk about, and hopefully, you're learning as I'm learning currently about different things. So yeah, I'm like sitting here learning as well. So this is very intriguing to me. So a question,
Yeah.
since you're more in the know with this topic than I am, would you say that what who all has this? Like, is it based on gay? Is it based on your gender? What's it all based on? Like, how does one identify if they have different sections?
Any part that is a part of a minority group. So it could be race, it could be religion, it could be it's definitely sexuality. Well, okay, let's start with what it made me. Let me rephrase what I said. It is definitely race, sex, right? So your race and your sex make you a minority.
Okay.
Every female is a minority.
Okay.
Has been, and this is all based on the majority social
Okay.
norm, right?
Yeah.
So the social norm, our social framework in America, at me not going on a soapbox, I'm going to keep it very high level, but I can go very deep about this. Okay, so America was framed male-centric, white,
Yes.
white, cis, male-centric is our framework.
Yeah.
Is our social framework. Women had to fight to become
Yes.
sorta equal, which is where we are today. Sorta. But not quite, because women still don't get paid the same. Women are still disregarded. Women are still dismissed. So that would be one minority circle. So all females. Then let's add on race.
Okay.
So any person of color, Latin, Black, Chinese, Mexican, all of those minorities, right? So you have, if you're a woman and you are also a minority, that's your first. That's the first grounds of your intersectionality. But then we can also add age.
Oh yeah.
So we are exiting. So baby boomers are majority in charge, right? So they hold the power right now.
Yeah.
Because people won't vote, but that's another topic for another day. So let's add that. So if you're young, millennial, like 18, 20, that is a section. And maybe your needs are different.
Millennial. 18,
Millennial.
20. Hold on. They're actually.
Are they not? Are they?
No.
What's the end?
Because
what's the end cap?
I'm still considered a millennial. And I'm.
In your 20s.
No, I'm not.
Oh.
I'm 31.
Oh. What did you vote?
So now you have, what is it, Generation Z? Is that what it's called now?
What's after Z? AA?
I know.
AA. Sorry.
Girl, we might need it after this wine.
That was an Excel joke. It was an Excel joke. So you have age.
Oh, and then I go crazy. I went different. Never mind. But then you said Excel, and I was like, an Excel joke.
You have age.
And I was like, I use Google Sheets.
Oh, the same thing. They do AA. They go ZA.
I hear Excel, I get confused. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm smarter than what I look. Well, I mean, I might look smarter than what I am. Anyways, go ahead. I'm so sorry I'm interrupting. Go ahead. So women
race,
already, any people of color.
Yeah, any person of color, because you are being a minority group.
No matter being male or female.
No matter being male or female. But then you also have interrace people that are more than one, right? So you have, so those are two, right? So you have, especially if they're two minority groups, Black and Asian, Native American, and any, right? I said age. Religion is a big one, especially religions other than Christianity. Let me also say this, because the social framework of America was built on religious freedom. Okay, I'll just leave that there. That's another conversation for another day.
Look it up.
But there's a lot of hatred towards Muslim religions.
Oh yeah.
There
I've
was
seen it
once
personally.
hatred towards Shinto or Buddhism type religions. There's a lot of confusion about the religions from the Middle East because it's not just Muslim. You also have Hindu. You also have there's another one.
I'm not very versed in my knowledge with religion.
Yeah, there's so many. There's a diverse slew of religions, even those that are based Catholic and or Christian based have many sects, right? You have Baptist, Presbyterian, you have evangelist, you have Mormon, you have
There's so many.
Jehovah's Witnesses. Please don't knock on my door.
Oh man, unless you're hot and I can convert you.
You know what? I've tried. Okay, real quick. There were these two Mormons that were in my neighborhood before I moved out. When I had the townhome, I tried very hard to get them naked.
You're at my door.
I mean, I invited them in,
Give me a little show.
but I said, in order to talk to me, you got to remove the article of clothing.
You said Mormon or the Jehovah?
These were Mormons.
Oh, Mormons.
I didn't talk to the Jehovah's Witnesses. They would do it too much. They wanted to hand out pamphlets and stuff. I don't have time. But religion. Not to say that if you're a Jehovah's Witness, I don't respect your religion.
Oh,
do.
yeah.
I just don't want your pamphlets, is what I'm saying.
And there's a difference between acknowledging people for what they believe in and disregarding them. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Because they could be, we could sit here and say bad stuff about things that we don't even know about, and then what does that make us? That makes us bad people. Because
Right.
why would we, like, if you practice Hindu or Christianity or whatever, you know, that's you, and that's you. I personally don't, but yeah.
So it's really any if you are a part of any marginalized group and you have more than one, then you have intersectionality.
Well, I guess your explanation, most people look at me and they think he's white, he's male, which I am, but I am actually Native American. I can show you my birth certificate. You know, some people like to request those things in America. I'm just saying, gotta have proof. And I just go along with me being white because it's easier. Because I get treated differently if I were to tell people I was Native American. They literally, it's like something switches in people when they find out you're not actually white. Because there was someone, for example, I went to a client's house and I was like, oh yeah, I'm from Lumberton. They're like, oh. And it's like, yeah, there's a bunch of Lumbies down there, and they were starting to say all these negative things, and I was like, well, both of my parents are Lumbee. So, yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, well, you don't look. Oh, I know what I don't look like.
Yeah.
I said, but it's who I am. And I think it's really bad on me for not making it more known that I am Native American versus just going along with being white.
So this is a really good point, and I'm so glad that you brought it up. Because a lot of times, your intersections will be at conflict with each other, which is why coding exists. Another word for switching.
Okay.
Which is why we code and or switch, right? We code and or switch because our two intersections are at conflict. So it is a survival technique to switch, to be anamorphous. I really love that word.
Ooh, it sounds very interesting.
Amphibians they adapt to their
surrounding
their climate. So they're the one of the only creatures that can live in water or on land. So they adapt depending on how much water is available to them. So, so I say when I say you become anamorphous, you become adaptable to your surroundings. But it's important to realize that because that internal conflict doesn't go anywhere. So you have to validate both sections. You have to validate all sections of yourself to be really at peace with yourself, right? So in order to really love you, you have to be able to say, yeah, okay, I'm a woman and I'm black. And if they ever conflict, we have to realize where that confliction starts, what causes it, acknowledge that the conflict is there in order to really allow ourselves to process and resolve the conflict. I know, deep. I know it. I know it. It's easier said than done. The same way that we still switch today, right? So I still switch.
Yeah.
Less so than I did in the past, but I still switch at work because there's this overarching kind of rule of quote unquote professionalism. I'm gonna put it in quotes because it's a cis white man's definition. Anyway,
everything is based on
another conversation.
Who is making the definition?
Right. Yeah. And so I am passionate. I am a passionate, energetic, outspoken individual.
Are you?
Yeah, I know. You wouldn't have
thought
about
I would have never guessed that.
I know. Who would have known? So I generally have zero qualms about saying something contrary or saying something abrasive and saying it very bluntly.
No.
And like F your feelings. Like, I don't care that you're short. You're short. Do you hear what I'm saying? So, like, I put the facts out there. In a professional sense, that's not very professional. Professionalism is it's communicating in this way that seems, I hate it. It's like beating the bush, right? Softening the blow.
Yeah.
Like, you want to seem critical but collaborative.
Yeah.
Which are often conflicting views.
Yeah. Let's see what Google says about the definition of professionalism. Okay, Google, what does professionalism mean?
That's good.
Professionalism is used as a noun to mean the competence or skill expected of a professional. Do you want to hear professionalism used in a sentence?
No.
Cis white man.
Wow, it literally said that was like a little runaround of the same thing.
Cis white man's definition. Okay, so here's another.
But reason. I do love my white men though. Don't get us wrong. Like I
think I've said I love me some Caucasian, some Caucasoid. Y'all just can't cook for me. But
oh my gosh, maybe that's why you can eat my cooking. Because I'm actually Native American, but pretend to be white.
He got more salt and pepper in his season, Captain. But
I do.
Okay. So it's really important to know just about intersectionality in general, right? So as you're going about your day, it's good that you know the sections that are you, and then you can start to think about the sections that could be other people.
Yeah.
Some are more prevalent than others, like some that you can see, like I can look at you and tell that you are short.
Not me.
Not you. But you know what I mean? Like if you're the only short person in the group. Like so intersectionality isn't all global either. So it could be micro intersections within your friend group, right? So the one short one.
Was that a pun? Micro and short?
I'm too good at it. Okay, jokes aside. But it could be like the one person that looks different or is different than the people in the group. So we have to be aware of these things. You know what, me and a couple friends were talking about this the other day, about whether or not we were questioning diversity and whether or not we exemplify diversity in our friend groups.
Okay.
And because I look at your friends. So if we were going to be friends, I look at your friends. And I look at the pictures that you're taking. And if it looks like all of y'all are the same cracker. Okay, that was a pun. But you know what I mean? Like if you're all corner pieces and I'm the center, I'm not gonna wanna I might like take a long time to let you in. But in that same breath, I also don't want to force diversity.
Oh yeah.
You know, like it's
If you're not that type of person to have that in your life, and then you try to make that happen for them,
right.
Yeah.
So that's another topic for another day. But I'm saying that
we say that a lot, but then when it comes time to thinking about these topics, we forget them all. So we need you to respond, say some things. What do you want us to talk about? That's all I gotta say.
But I think our brief should be, the point of understanding intersectionality is so that you can meet the needs of not only yourself, but those that you also hold dear.
Yeah.
Because, this when you start talking intersectional, when we talked about it, I never knew that you had this conflicting part of you that you were keeping hidden.
Yeah.
Which I would argue is not healthy.
Well,
and there would be things to unpack. Do you see what I'm saying? So we open up, and then it's all love. So we open up these bridges within your friend groups, right?
Yeah.
So I thoroughly suggest talking intersectionality with your friend group, and seeing what sections that you have in common and what you don't have in common.
I mean, you'd be surprised if you just open that door.
Yeah.
You never know what something's dealing with internally that you didn't even know they were dealing with.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring it up. Talk it with your friends. See what comes up. And let us know what you find out and how we can help you deal with what you've heard. Because not everyone, okay, that's something I can say. Not everyone knows how to help.
Right.
With those certain things either.
Right.
With you, let's real talk, real examples. It's like I don't know everything about the trans like identity. I don't know half the stuff I probably should know. I feel like I should know more, but we don't ever really talk about it. Like I know, but I don't know at the same time, if that makes sense. Yeah, so I feel like, we should have wine's going to be included.
Hey, maybe we could talk about that. I mean, yeah, and I think it's a great thing, and it's really positive to ask your friends things that you don't know, especially hard conversations like, how are you and your mother?
Yeah.
How is your mother dealing with? By the way, she wants these earrings that I have on, which is fine. I should have just bought them because I thought about her when I bought them, but we had a long conversation about it. Really, namely, I should have bought her these in gold and silver.
Yeah.
Whatever the queen wants, she gets. But I know. I call her my queen anyway.
Hey, that's good.
She's the mother of a goddess. So
I wish I had that close relationship with my mother.
I intimidate you? Wait till you meet my mother. Mm-hmm. I am her.
Well, hopefully she likes me.
Oh yeah, she.
But yeah, like for real, like that is something I actually would want to know more about.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there are things like, our last wine night, okay, a little story. Our last wine night at the place that we go to nearby, we had started the night out, I said, we're going to drink to just sell it at happiness, drinking to happiness.
Right.
It's literally how I started the
3 glasses.
I was like, I went from being here and I went, woo, let's dive deep. I talked about my childhood. I talked about things I've never even talked about with my friends for 15 years.
Don't be mad at me. I love you both.
And I just, went in, and it was things that were probably at that moment needed for me because, I deal with, because we're those strong people, like we've said before, we're those strong people that barely ask for help and, all of that, but,
Probably to our downfall.
yeah. And so, me breaking down several walls that night and talking about certain stuff that I just, and I think another part of it too is that I can't say this word, compartmentalize.
Compartmentalize.
Yes. A lot of things in a shelf somewhere deep inside this brain sphere. It's somewhere in the back, and it gets forgotten on purpose because I don't want to think about it.
It's your defense mechanism.
Yeah, and so it's good to let it all out sometimes with people that you trust.
Right.
Don't ever just talk about it with people you don't know or just met, because they might not be the ones you need to tell.
Yeah, you always want to be cautious about the people you let in, because essentially what you do is that you've set up these, as you've grown up and you've experienced trauma, your body creates these defense mechanisms, and a lot of them are autonomic and you don't think about them. But as soon as we start breaking down those barriers, you start giving people keys, people then have power over you. So you want to be careful who you give your power to. So I've always said, get you a tribe. Find you a tribe. That might be one person. That might be two people. It might be. I am very blessed, and I have a plethora of people. But find you a tribe that you can say, look, this is what I need. This is what happened.
Will you help me hide a body? Come on, we can't delay.
I want you to know, if you actually called me, I would, but I would cut you out at the same time. I would do it, but I want, make no doubts about it. We hide in the body, but you are going to get cussed out.
And I guess I'm driving my own car.
Correct. Well, no. What? We rent the car.
Oh, okay. All right.
Drive your own car.
Y'all forget everything we just said.
Too much First 48. I watch all of that crime stuff. We are going to rent a van.
There we go.
In cash.
Strap it to the top.
I'm not saying that I would do that. Because I realize this is on the interwebs.
We need one of those pins like the Men in Black. You've now forgotten everything we've just said.
Pencil. What? Okay, now I'm talking too much.
Oh, snap. I'm learning new things too. Cut. No. Speaking of tribe, you talked earlier about saying you look at other people's friends before you become friends with them. So when you looked at mine, what was your opinion?
So you had a diverse group of friends. Like there were a lot of shades. There were a lot of women. There were people of all sorts, colors, creeds. Yeah. And you were just in the middle smiling. So I was like, okay.
And it's always, I think being raised racist. It's a big thing for me to. I had to get away from that process. You know what I mean? Like being raised that way, and being against other people. Something internally, even at a young age, just didn't feel right with me. And I just felt like it was. At first, I felt like it was needed to do it, but then it just naturally happened afterwards. Like when I was in school and stuff like that, it was like it was needed, so I made it happen. But as I got older, because the friends I have now are basically the ones that I met outside of school. I didn't even meet them in school. I met them outside of school in different scenarios, like the most strangest, weirdest scenarios. But it's just we've been that close for so long. It became natural.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And natural to me is better than.
That's how it should be.
Yeah. I think it should be that way with a lot of things, like relationships, friendships.
Yeah.
You should have natural relationships at work too. They shouldn't be forced. Like I shouldn't have to fake a smile with my boss.
And I never will.
Hi.
In fact, if I don't like you, you will know. Because I will say, I don't like you. I don't like you. Why don't we ever do lunch? Because I don't like you.
Yeah. Well, coworkers that I have that I don't like, no, I don't like them as well. I mean, because I think we're kind of similar in that fact that we don't really hide. I used to hide a lot of things, but I don't really much anymore. It is a lot of energy.
It's a lot of work.
And then you have to remember to be that way around them. It's like it's a forced feeling. It's not even like a natural thing.
And just because I don't like you don't mean that I'm not going to collaborate with you to get something done.
Yeah.
At work. It just means that you'll never come into my house. For a Christmas party.
Oh, well, professionalism, I can make it work in whatever I need to do. Like if we have to work on something together, I'm going to put my personal feelings aside. We're going to work on what you're good at, and I'm going to work on what I'm good at together, and then we're going to make it happen. But just know, it didn't bring us closer. It just...
Correct, but I still don't like it.
I'm still going to feel the same way internally.
I still don't like you.
I was like, just because I got something done for you, or I accidentally bought too many things that day and I gave you one, oh honey, please don't misread that.
I've never given someone that I didn't like.
Well.
No, yes I have. No, I did, because they were hungry. And I am a friend, the one thing I cannot stand is seeing hungry people. Like, it breaks me down to the core.
Yeah.
Like, I could literally hate your being, your very existence. But if you came to me and said that you were hungry and hadn't eaten, and I could see it, and you was just like crying, and like you was just broken, and all you wanted was a piece of cornbread, I want you to understand that you're gonna eat good that day. I'm still not gonna like you, but I will feed you. I'll feed you. I don't like you though.
There you go.
But eat this damn chicken.
If you're hungry, call Rafik.
No, don't call me. No.
That's what I heard.
I mean, yes, but no. But yes, if won't nobody else feed you, I'll feed you.
Was there anything else that you'd like to add before you finished your last sip of the night?
Oh gosh, that's depressing. Why is it my last one?
We can get more outside the camera space. Camera space.
I gotta work tomorrow.
Oh,
God.
No.
Anyway,
So do I.
No, just in recap, intersectionality is important to understand and see, not only for yourself, but for your friends and your work group. And as you start to develop this mindset of, what other parts can I readily identify, you'll find yourself thinking more about true collaboration, right? Than having true communication with people, and you'll see that you'll get a lot more done. I do this at work. I do it at any of my nonprofits, working with the kids' parents, and I find that I am able to connect more easily because I'm open to receiving and learning and understanding the person for who they are. Now, whether or not I remember that, because I don't remember names, that's another thing. But I'm saying that you'll see that it'll benefit you with your connectivity with other people. Trust the goddess. She knows what she's talking about.
She does. Do not drink that last sip yet.
Oh, okay.
And, and I would like to add on to that. This has been a very educational thing for me to talk about, and I learned quite a bit, and I'm looking forward to learn more about you. Learn to ask those questions. If you have a question, ask them. It's just that easy.
Yeah.
Some people are afraid. I'm guilty of it. I'm afraid to ask certain questions because I always feel like they may either get asked a lot or they get tired of answering the same thing over and over, or various things. But, as a person that does get asked the same questions all the time, I understand that point of view too. But I always remember when I'm answering to one person and someone else asks the same thing, that's a new person. I have to treat it like a new question, even though it's the same exact verbatim question that I've been asked before 10,000 times. But, but you know, treat it as a new question each time. Do not get upset, because you wouldn't want somebody to get upset if you had a question that you're asking that you wanted to know. So.
Fair. I mean, it's also okay to say that you don't want to answer it.
I mean, that's true too. You might not be in the headspace.
You don't have to be, you don't have to go crazy about it. You just be like, another time.
Yeah.
I feel like that's fair.
Well, that's a great question. I don't really feel like talking about it right now. But hit me up again.
Hit me up. Beat me 911. Call me on my cell.
But if you text me after 2, I'm just going to assume you want to get naked.
Now, that is true. That is true. I feel like booty call hours start at like 10.
Oh, yeah, because of COVID. Everything's...
I feel like after 10, like you shouldn't be texting me after 10 o'clock, or it's like booty call hours.
Unless you're reminding me of something we're supposed to do the next day.
Correct. Or you have alcohol.
Yes. But that could lean into a booty call.
It could.
I mean, where's the night take you?
Yeah.
All right, guys. I've had fun. Hope you've enjoyed it and got some education. What is it? The more you know.
The more. Could we get it?
We could try.
The screen.
I don't know how my editing skills are. Also, if you're looking to edit videos for sexual favors.
We're hiring, but not really, because we're not paying.
Yeah. Sexual favors. Yeah. So, yeah. I am Brock. Oh, wait, no. Until next week. I'm Brock.
I'm Rafik.
This has been Conversippin. So, wait. We should change our tagline now. We said stay safe and conversate with your bestie because, COVID, and that's still in effect, and yes, you should stay safe. But
I mean, the Rona's still out there.
The Rona is still out there, but we could be more creative and just stay safe. Don't you think?
Stay secure.
We're going to think this over. We're going to have a new tagline at the end next week. We love you, Sips. And until next time, stay
I haven't called you Sips in a long time. I like it. Okay. We love you, Sips.
And until next time, stay safe and conversate with your besties.
Brandon, you got to give me another bottle of this. I need it.
It's real good.
I need a, call me. Come, slide in my DM. With these bottles.
I wish you could send alcohol digitally sometimes. But then that also means you can send smells, and some of y'all people would be thinking. Some of them, I be looking at some people's Snapchat sometimes, I'm like, I'm pretty sure they smell rank right now. So I'm glad I can't smell the phone. I'm just saying.